Hello and welcome to the Kingsport Lighthouse in Fallout 4. This location is sacred ground blessed by our trusted associate Kevin Spacey because his home, back at Capax, looks very similar to this. The only problem that he has with this particular planet is the sunlight. He just despises how strong the sun shines, and therefore we must build a vault, so when he visits he has a place where he can relax and do spacey things without getting fucked in the head by the sun. But how exactly does one create a vault here? It's not exactly possible to go underground. Luckily, my mind has been touched by the gods in many ways and I decided to create a mountain. A fake mountain connected to the lighthouse that will be the vacation home of Mr. Spacey. In order to successfully create this mountain, I had to invoke special powers that granted me full freedom when placing the materials. This was the only way to create something worthy. First I placed a couple of blocks and then the vault door to create some sort of an entrance frame. Then the rocks. I didn't realize that I had access to a huge rock, so I placed a bunch of these small motherfuckers that irritated my testicular region, but it didn't take long for me to actually notice the big rock, so in the end the mountain creation didn't take long. I wanted to make sure that it looks like a real mountain by creating slopes on the sides. If it looked like a cube, then any fucking idiot would realize that it's fake. Since the top was still somewhat flat and it could be jumped on from the lighthouse, I placed a bunch of traps on it to prevent anyone from jumping on it. I don't know how effective this might be, but I don't really give a shit either. I returned to the entrance and noticed how the vault door actually looked pretty stupid, so I replaced it with the modern door with an exit sign. The stupid door can be used as the second door to fully enter the vault. I now had a double entrance with a cleansing space in between. In order to properly cleanse the subjects that entered the vault, I needed to see them before opening the second door. So I added a glass wall and a desk with a microphone in front of it. One person will always sit here and inspect the newcomers. The next plan was flattening the area around the house, so the space is nice and clean for the subjects to roll on. Some of the blocks were impossible to place, so the power of the gods was used to make it happen. And now the rock room. This is where Kevin Spacey generates power that allows him to travel through time and space from Earth. His original chair is located in this room, facing the rock, and a legless motherfucker is on the chair. The power is drawn from him into the rock and then transmitted to Mr. Spacey telepathically. The sides contain wheelchairs and one of them has another legless motherfucker waiting to be drained. It is important to note that the legless motherfuckers stay alive and they become fully controlled by our glorious associate once they get completely drained. The room across this one faces the open area of the vault and contains a table with a chair. He sits here and controls the subjects as they do things in the yard. He uses toilet paper to wipe his ass in case he starts crying. The other side contains oxygen tanks because sometimes he gets very emotional and sucks away all the air around him, which prevents him from breathing properly. I went upstairs to create the bathroom. I added walls where they got destroyed and placed nice and modern items inside. He often has very bad diarrhea due to the environment on the planet and because he keeps eating human legs, which isn't good for his digestive system, but he loves the taste, especially mixed with rice. The room next to the bathroom is his sleeping quarters, a nice yellow bed with a bloody chem box because he can't really sleep well and whenever he does sleep he somehow ends up cutting someone's leg off. Drugs help, but not a lot. One side of the broken part of the house has a doghouse surrounded by a picket fence and a plant. This area reminds him of his original home where he had a plant-eating creature that resembles a dog. The other side has this spaceship toy and a speaker. By riding this toy and listening to Nickelback, he calms himself in upsetting situations. This place is a bit fucked up though. If we look up, we can see a boxing ring phasing into the world, as well as his original spacecraft, a Christmas tree, espresso machine, his love couches and a bathtub. All of this happened because at start he wasn't able to perfect his traveling technique. Every time he went, he created a vortex that fucked something up. We're gonna get to that later, let's go back to the yard. This place contains a seesaw, a swing and a climbing thing for kids. Since Mr. Spacey spent a lot of time in parks admiring his fellow Capaxians, he missed that, so he used the legless motherfuckers and watched them play in his yard. And now the portal. The best way to travel around while still having access to the vault was to create a magical portal. And since he used the rock and legless motherfuckers to maintain his glory, he also connected this room to a functional portal. To use it, he must use this tricycle that is then ridden over this red carpet straight into the wall of the house. The wall contains a picture of his original home with a very familiar lighthouse to the one right here. This entire area is walled off from everyone else because this process burns eyeballs, so it's best for everyone to never enter the portal zone. The front side of the vault has these spikes on the ground and two poles on both sides. This is the intergalactic cinema that he and his legless motherfuckers use to watch movies across the galaxy. The final thing that needed to be done is lighting in the portal zone. I placed a bunch of large streetlights on the sides of the red carpet and connected everything to a small generator and a switch. Since Mr. Spacey doesn't like light, it is only turned on when he travels. The lack of this light was the problem at the beginning. By adding it, all unwanted symptoms and phasing went away. And that is it for now. The Kingsport Mountain Vault has been completed, but there is probably more work that can be done and more things to be added, because as we all know, Kevin Spacey is as endless as the gods themselves. I hope you enjoyed this creation, and since I used magical powers to build here, this video is a bit shorter than usual. Thanks for watching, and make sure to let me know, do you wish to see more things done to this place? I have been Petard, your glorious lord, and may the blessings of Petardia eternally touch your butt.